Right, 19 February 2025, and today I'm going to be giving you yet another update, an exciting update, and an interesting episode of the drama that is taking place in Zimbabwe. And as I said, we've got a lot that is going to be taking place, and I'm going to be taking you through that whole situation in Zimbabwe. And we're getting to a point where everything is now going to be revealed in public. Mnangagwa was away last week when most of the drama took place, and Mnangagwa is now returned. The military in Zimbabwe and the war veterans have taken a position, and the position is that Mnangagwa must step down as soon as possible. However, Mnangagwa and a group around him is attempting to stay in office, and this is leading up to a big fight. So the Zimbabwe military is closely watching Mnangagwa. In fact, Mnangagwa is now being guarded by the commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Valerio Sibanda. So you saw that last week, that when he arrived at the airport, he was particularly guarded by Valerio Sibanda. And this is going to continue today. Today is a very important day. And I'm showing you this picture. This is one of the most important pictures that you're going to see, where Valerio Sibanda was personally guarding Mnangagwa from harm. And also, the family of Mnangagwa now under house arrest. They are not allowed to walk around. They're not allowed to do anything in public. They are basically constrained to their house, where they spend almost all their time, including Mnangagwa's son, who is in the army, Sean Mnangagwa, there in the middle of the car. And between Mnangagwa and himself, you can see Sean Mnangagwa there. And yesterday, I attempted to call him here live, and you saw that he did not answer. The army totally in control of the Mnangagwa family. But today we're going to see something very interesting, and that is Mnangagwa swearing in a number of ministers, deputy ministers, commissioners, and magistrates. So that is going to happen this morning. It's an important event. You must watch very closely the body language of Mnangagwa and what he'll be doing and saying at this event. So the announcement has been made that Mnangagwa is going to be made at this function, is going to be officiating. You should also watch if Chiwenga is going to appear. You can see that yesterday Chiwenga was not there during this meeting, where there was Mnangagwa, Kembo Mohadi, and other people in Mnangagwa's office. You can see that Kembo Mohadi has now removed his mask. I think he does this for the pictures. Kembo Mohadi is very sick. 2 weeks back, he was admitted at a hospital here in South Africa. And my sources showed me the hospital at which he was admitted. It was just a little minute left before I went there. But then he was discharged before I arrived. So this was going to be very interesting. Kembo Mohadi and Mnangagwa working together, trying to outsmart General Chiwenga, who is next in line to become the Zimbabwe president. So today, let's watch very closely. The military is on top of Mnangagwa as we speak, and let's watch the events that are going to occur today. Now, I want to quickly go into the news. Today, I'm going to take a very short time. Yesterday, we spent hours and hours here in the evening, and I don't want to take too much time. So we're going to take a short time today in the morning, and I'll be taking shorter times. I also want to invite some guests on my shows almost every day, mornings and evening. So let me see if a guest is going to join today. But let me see. Yes, I just received a message from someone very interesting. I won't tell you who it is, but you must know that it's someone in the presidium. And it me a message, Muchinda Uyu. So I'll tell you about it when I read it, because I'm live now. I can't tell you about it now, maybe in the evening. Now, let's look at the news. I said Mnangagwa, right now as we speak, with his family, constrained by the military. The military are pushing Mnangagwa into a corner, and they're making sure that he leaves. What happens now is to manage the transition. And I've said that the bigger picture is that By 18 April, we're going to see the inauguration of Chiwenga. General Chiwenga is the president of Zimbabwe as his next in line. Everyone is expecting that. But what happens in between is very, very important. Let's make sure that we watch very closely, starting today with the swearing in of magistrates, one minister, deputy ministers, and commissioners. We're going to watch very closely how Mnangagwa behaves and how the military behaves. And if Chiwenga is going to be here, and also people like Opam Chinguri. Opam Chinguri was in public yesterday. She hosted foreign embassies at the Rainbow Towers. So yesterday she was at the Rainbow Towers where she hosted foreign embassies. I will try to put that video for you later on. Yes, today I'm not as busy as yesterday. My time is going to start normalizing. Starting this week, everything's normalizing. I'm getting to all the messages that you guys have sent me. So today I'll be able to put up all these videos that we have got. Now, let's go to the news very quickly. This will be less than 10 minutes, I hope. But I like to talk. So you might know that the 10 minutes will tend to 100 minutes. Now, let's go to the news. Very sadly, the tallest man and the heaviest man in Zimbabwe, Charles Big Charlie Nyoni, has died. So this man is, or was, the heaviest man at 300 kgs. Yes, that is 300 kgs. And also 2.2 meters tall. This is the tallest man in Zimbabwe. He lives in Hwange. And you can see there, he was at Sun City in South Africa where they made a shoe for him, a size 55 shoe for him. So putting it into context, this is my shoe. This is a size 11. Size 11, this one. Multiply this by 5. That is this man's shoe. That's crazy. This man was the biggest man in Zimbabwe, and he could not stand straight because his knees could not carry his weight. So he died at 59 years old. Yesterday, today is Wednesday, so he died on Monday in Hwange at his home, and he'll be buried this week. I wonder what kind of coffin they will make for him because it was extremely large and almost at world record level. So Zimbabwe's biggest man died this week at 59 years old. Big Charlie, Charles Nyoni of Hwange. So, well, let's see what happens. That man wanted to meet Auxilia Mnangagwa. His dream was to meet Auxilia Mnangagwa. That is, in 2020, he announced that he wanted to meet Auxilia Mnangagwa. Mahia had gone to see him and said Auxilia Mnangagwa was going to come, but she didn't come. So he died a very sad man. I hope that she contributes to this man's funeral because he was really struggling. Big Charlie used to eat a breakfast of 6 eggs, a loaf of bread, a full teapot, and many, many other things for his breakfast. His lunch was made up of a full pot of pap and a full chicken. So that is Zimbabwe's biggest man who has died in Hwange. And it's unfortunate that Auxilia Mnangagwa was not able to go after promising to go and see him. Then I want to go to Africa News. In Africa News, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, you remember he said South Africa is a rogue state, an enemy of the United States, and also going against the foreign policy of the USA. You remember this video I played for you?
I have no intention of going to Havana with this regime in place other than to discuss when they're going to leave. That regime is a disaster. It's destroyed the country. They're incompetent and they're evil, that regime. And they're also a threat to the United States. They've invited China to open spy bases. They invite Russia in. They're partners with Iran. They just joined a partnership with South Africa to support Hamas at the expense of Israel. That isn't a government. That is a regime that is hostile to the United States.
Right. So the United States considers South Africa to be hostile to the foreign policy of the United States. And that is what Secretary Rubio has said. South Africa has dispatched people to go and talk to the Americans to discuss this issue. But the United States of America has blue-ticked South Africa. So they are refusing to answer. They are not just being polite. They are totally refusing to talk to the South Africans. The South Africans who have gone to Washington are now stranded without anyone to talk to, because the messages that they've sent have not been responded to. So that is crazy and unbelievable. Marco Rubio here, making it clear that they don't want what South Africa is doing here in Africa. And the sanctions are biting hard. So the sanctions that are put on South Africa have been biting very, very hard. The USA has stopped any transfer to South Africa of any money on any program. And this has affected 15,000 medical professionals. And the clinics that have closed, a huge number of clinics have closed, and those 15,000 have been redeployed. People who are on PEPFAR or ARVs, they're now stranded. South African government is now having to take over, but they're failing to cope. So what they've said is that if someone was receiving ARVs, they must now receive it 6 months in advance. So that is to prevent the huge number of people that are now coming to public hospitals who are going to hospitals or clinics that were run under PEPFAR. So this is crazy and unbelievable, but that is what happens if you go against the United States. I've already said this won't end well for South Africa. This is just the beginning. You're going to see a lot more taking place here in South Africa. So President Cyril Ramaphosa has to make a real plan. Maybe he might have to go there himself, and he has to change the policies, because if you don't change policy, the sanctions won't go away. They're going to stick around, and South Africa is feeling a huge bite. Unemployment is sitting right now at 32%, and the rand is going to suffer massively under these sanctions from the United States of America. Then in business, Tawanda Nyambirai has taken over at Steward Bank, and he now owns 53% of the bank. This is subject to Competition Commission approvals. However, today he has made a stunning announcement, which is that he's going to cut staff or retrench a lot of employees. He has warned employees that retrenchments are imminent and that they must be prepared to become entrepreneurs, because the bank is overstaffed. There are too many employees at Steward Bank, and the structure of the bank does not support the business, and also the profit is low on Steward Bank. So he's working very hard to remove a lot of staff members, and he said it in those words. So if you work at Steward Bank, make a plan and call me so that we can talk. The guys at Steward Bank, call me so that we can talk. There's a lot that we can do with our project, our fund, where we're trying to raise 1 million in Harare. 1,000 people coming together to raise $1 million. So that is Tawanda Nyambirai there, making the stunning announcement that the Steward Bank structure is wrong. There are too many employees, and he's going to fire a lot of employees. He said in those words, you can go and check it out in the Herald newspaper. So he's given an interview in the Herald newspaper regarding that story. Then I think we've covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover here. Now let's look at the newspapers. I'm going to quickly look at the newspapers before I go. Because as I said, I'm going to be coming here twice a day, and it's quite strenuous for me to do this twice a day, given the fact that I just traveled. Guys, I traveled this week, but the trip that I'm going to be going into in 2 months' time is going to shock you guys. Where you are going to see me, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be traveling again overseas, and I will let you guys know when the time is right. Kampapu Media is the only channel that is real. The other channels, they just sit on a chair and they tell you things that they don't know. I tell you things that are happening. You are going to see me at White House very soon. I'm going to be there before you know it. I'll arrive Ipapopa, Ananzipa, Department of State. That is my next visit, which I'm going to take. But I will tell you when everything is in place. Now, let's look at the newspapers. I want to start with the H Metro newspaper. Guys, there's a very sad story in the H Metro newspaper. And you know that H Metro is my favorite newspaper. So let's go over there to H Metro, the TMZ of Zimbabwe. So in this newspaper, I'm going to focus on this story here. A woman claims her husband's girlfriend. She has infected my hubby with STIs countless times. Guys, this is trapabulous. You cannot do that to your wife. Like, do not infect your wife countless times with STIs. So a woman claims her husband's girlfriend has infected her countless times STIs. But Williamson said her husband has been having 7-year love affair with the Praise Monarchy. And that is Praise Monarchy here. Every time, so let me move this closely. Every time her husband contracts an STI, he blames her, even when it's clear that the blame should be to his lover, Praise. So that is a bad situation here. It's trapabulous, and we don't want it. So we don't accept such a situation. Don't do that to your wife. Guys, first and foremost, if you want to get a girlfriend, make sure you leave one of the wives. You can't have 3 or 2 wives these days. It's very dangerous. And then James Makamba has met with Lionel Richie. So James Makamba is one of the most prominent business people in Zimbabwe, looking very good for his age. You can see he's shining over there. So go and check out that picture and the background of that story in the H Metro newspaper. One of the best newspapers. I like this newspaper. They do a good job. They publish on time, and they've got a very good editor. I didn't see him for my editors who were visiting Mnangagwa, but he is doing very, very well. And then Simba gets US 500,000 sponsorship deal, and you can go and check out that story in the H Metro newspaper. Let's see what is in the Herald newspaper today. Herald newspaper. I do not know the guys over there. They've changed so much. They moved new editors over there, and they've got a story on Mnangagwa. So I'm going to show you. Mnangagwa is not looking well. Mnangagwa is under a lot of pressure. Very soon, something big is going to happen with Mnangagwa, and it will be just instantaneous. You wake up in the morning, and something would have happened. Mnangagwa is under a lot of pressure because of the military. They have said he must leave, and it's just a matter of time. So he says discipline key, says President, slams disrespect of leaders at public events. Guys, this is crazy. Mnangagwa is telling people that they must stop criticizing Chiwenga at public events. Do you know what this is? This is the last days of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa speaking and saying that people who are criticizing or chanting slogans against Chiwenga in public are not members of ZANU, but they are doing this thing by themselves. So, nice newspaper, go check it out. And then I've just showed you this story here. I've always attached to Steward Bank. That is Tawanda Nyambirai over here, talking about the retrenchments. So if you work at Steward Bank, call me. Gather yourself, guys, and call me. Let's talk. Do not be ashamed of calling Gambakwe. I'm the only man who's going to help you. And then Zek has put a notification here, and that is by election on 12 April. You can go and see that. I'll put it on Gambakwe. That is the by election on Gambakwe. And then Port Tungwarara here and Mahia, they have given 150,000 to war veterans. They have also given 32 phones to war veterans, and these war veterans will become journalists. So what will happen is that the 32 war veterans will now be publishing, and they'll be paid $300 a month. So they'll become war veteran journalists to counter what is happening with Gaza. So that is happening, and I can't believe Mahia. Mahia akutengesa. Mahia mtengesi. Anusemesa. Right. So maybe you don't know why I'm saying this. He is now continuing with ED 2030. He says he's going to convince Mnangagwa to stay in office, and I'll find that video for you and show it for you. He said you persuade Mnangagwa to stay in office. So these guys are not listening to the military. And I think military must do what military does. Mahia na Tungwarara. Mukoma Tungwarara. Ngavamhanyiswe. Vanetsa. Now let's go to, let me see if there's anything in the Chronicle newspaper. As I said, many prominent people have left Zimbabwe. Clever people have left Zimbabwe. Only those ones who are not clever are still sticking around. But you understand what I'm talking about. You will see what is going to happen. When this thing goes down, it's going to be dirty and a lot of people are going to run. So if you're one of those people that don't understand what I just said, stay in that place where you are and you see what happens when things go down. It's going to be very bad. It's not going to be easy. People that you think are scary are going to be scared. People like Mnangagwa. Right. Party warns indisciplined party cadres. I think editor, you go. And I would sing one. What is an indisciplined party cadre? Let's fix the newspaper, guys. You can't have such a mistake on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I think there's nothing called an indisciplined. I think you wanted to say ill-disciplined members. So I can't have such a mistake on the front page of the biggest newspaper in Bulawayo. That is barbarous and unbelievable. So let's look at other stories here. Oh, I thought they were going to have the story of the Wange man there. They said he died at 60. That is the big man of Wange. Has died, the biggest man in Zimbabwe, the tallest man in Zimbabwe with a size 55 shoe has died. And then we got young women for ED, Tawanda Nyambirai. She is sitting there giving guts. Let's see if we can call Tawanda Nyambirai. Today, 3,000. Okay, she has gone off WhatsApp. We wanted to ask her, Kuti, these gods that she's giving, where is she getting them? What is the purpose? And so forth, so that she can explain to us. But this is a crazy project that is being done by Tawanda Nyambirai. Tawanda Nyambirai flipped. She was on the Mnangagwa, on the Chiwenga faction. I think they threatened her. Then she flipped to the Mnangagwa faction. She was suspected of supporting Chiwenga, and I don't know when she turned to the Mnangagwa faction. And then models are casting for the Miss Teen of Universe Zimbabwe over here, and these are young women, very, very beautiful young women. My models, guys, see my models. So let's come to an end, and I want to talk about a sponsor, Muve. The special is over. Guys, that was the massive response that we received. Our supplier sent out over 200 packets of Muve during the 2-for-1 Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, that also means that there was a delay, especially because I have to push. When you phone me and give me the contacts, I have to push it to the supplier. And I was traveling, so there's a bit of a backlog. And some of the guys who wrote me messages, I haven't responded. If you wrote me a message around the 14th and this weekend, and I didn't respond to you, we are going to make sure that the supplier gives you your special. But for the rest of the guys, you now go back to normal price. And musatongwe nema salad. Musatongwe nema salad. Make sure that you get to Muve and you follow the instructions that I've given you on Muve. Now give your wife a pack. Don't keep the 2 packs for yourself. Right, let's now go to business. And the last business story I have here is the Old Mutual CEO, Iain Williamson, has taken early retirement at 54 after 5 years in the position. So he announced this retirement yesterday. So if you're an Old Mutual Zimbabwe, you can now apply for this position. It's open. CEO of Old Mutual, who is based in South Africa at Sandton, and Old Mutual is sitting on assets worth 1.6 trillion rands. So that is approximately 800 billion US dollars. That is how much they're sitting on, these guys. It's amazing. It's an amazing big company. But I do not know if there are people in Zimbabwe now who can be CEO at Old Mutual. I remember Peter Ndoro did this position We have some of the best people taking up positions in Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe, who are working in these massive companies. So I would like to bring this to an end, and we are going to be watching Mnangagwa very closely. Something big is about to happen, and it's going to happen this week. So today is a big day to watch, and then Friday is a big day to watch in Bulawayo. Mnangagwa is under heavy military guard. They are watching him, every step he makes, every word that he says. And if the generals are not careful and they let Mnangagwa go from here, they'll all get killed. So it's a dangerous situation, something that will never, ever be allowed to reverse. This will never be reversed. Where we are, it's only one way. That is Mnangagwa leaving. And if the generals fail, the generals will be gone. Both sides are not going to be there. By 18 April, everyone will be gone. And I mean, one side. So one of the sides will be gone. Either Mnangagwa will be gone or Chiwenga will be gone and the generals. So it won't be, it's not easy, but one side is going to be taken out. And it's going to happen in front of your eyes. Now let's see the comments. Gambakwe, respect your viewers and listen to their comments. Being in media does not mean you know everything. Yes, Mkoma Elton Mambwe, it's correct. Being in media does not mean I know everything. But if you see people who talk to me on my phone, the people that I talk to on my phone, the people that visit me, the people I visit, they know a lot. That is why I'm here to tell you what's happening. That is why in December, I told you that something was going down before you knew it. That is because I already know what I was told. So I also tell you what I'm told. Size 55 is about size 17. Your size is 11, which is 45. Yes, Mkoma, you're correct. 55 is size 17, but Big Charlie was size 22. So I think we are correct there. Size 17 to size 45, you're correct. You're correct, totally correct in terms of the sizes. And then let's see if there's any other. Okay, here. I think he was talking about Havana, Cuba, which said it's hostile. Yes, he says Havana, Cuba, but South Africa is under sanctions for the very same reasons. A relationship with Iran, a relationship with Hamas, and whatever they did with the case against Israel. You cannot do that because, let me explain to you what is wrong with Hamas. So I've got no doubt about what I'm telling you now. Hamas sent people into a village where there were innocent kids, children, people having a party, and they killed everyone. Then they abducted people and they're keeping them hostage. So you cannot take the side of such people. So when they do that, then it's not allowed. Would you like it if people come into a village and do that? So that is why people don't like Hamas. It's terrible. And then Comma Streams says you don't have consistency in your news. Comma Streams ZW, I am here every morning, I'm here every evening. You may not like what I say, but I'm very, very consistent. And Comma Worship, why don't you come and join me one day here? You are a very smart man, and I want to hear your views. Join me in Comma Worship, and let's have a chat. Don't miss these opportunities to talk to the people. And Mkoma Peter Toshi, America is, you're not telling me the truth. Mkoma, I've been to America. America is one of the most organized communities. They've sorted out their systems. They've got money. They're the friends of capital. So if you're not a friend with America, who are you friends with? That is the question that I want to ask you. Rumor says Geza has ran out of Zimbabwe. I was trying to ask Chimama, and she's running. Do you guys know that Chimama is showing a face for the first time? So I think Chimama, she was hiding her face for a very, very long time. And yesterday she's shown her face, and you can go on X and see what she looks like. She's a real mama. So she's amazing. She's a real mama. And one time when I was in Joburg, I say, Chimama met me. I'm in Joburg, and she was scared. Most women are scared of meeting me. They actually think I'm scary, but I'm not. I'm a very nice guy. And Nkoma Peter says, don't run speculations anymore. Gambakwe, please. So just wait for today. You're going to see what is going to happen to Mnangagwa. It's going to be amazingly painful. What is going to happen to Mnangagwa and the people around him, especially Mkoma Paul Tungwarara and Mahia. Those two guys are going to suffer. You're going to see it very, very soon. Right, I think I've covered everything. USA is second best. What? Mkoma White Scorpion is the second best. I don't know who is the second best, but what I can tell you is that a lot is going to happen. And I'm pretending, by the way, Mkoma White Scorpion. I know what you're talking about. I just do it on purpose because it's like if you're my friend, right? So let me show you. If you're my friend, I become blind to certain things. Like, let me show you, Kuti, this guy, how he's benefiting from being my friend. I want to, and I want you guys to laugh with me here. This guy, every day, he's in the newspapers, and they're making fun of him for a lot of things. But me, I'm like totally blind to what is happening. It's not that I don't know this story. I know this story, this one. But I never talk about it. It's a nothing story to me because Mafume is friends with me. He talks to me all the time. If I phone Mafume any day, when he's in church, he goes out to talk to me. That is crazy. So sometimes I just ignore some stories. But if I see, let's say, Jenfan is fat. He's getting fat. He's sweating. When he's talking, he's got sweat all over him. And I say, Jenfan, come and move there. Maybe you get a ball. But anything I see with Jenfan in it, I'm going to publish it. That is because he's not my friend. It's the same with America. If you tell me about the Americans, sometimes I'm just blind to it. It's like I don't see it. I do that on purpose because when I go to the US, I really like it. Like I like going to the to America. If you guys had visas, you would go and see what I'm talking about. The moment you go into the United States, your brain is changed. It's no longer the same. That place is just at another level. And I like it. I hope that the Americans do well under President Trump, and all of us are going to do well. If Zimbabwe is a new government, I have been talking to the guys who are coming in, and I said to them, be friends with the United States. If you are friends with the United States, you're going to do well. Put up an office in Washington. Don't be friends with all these other people. They won't help you with anything. So that is amazing. And Peter Tosh, he said, because Mafume is my friend, I don't want to expose him. I don't have to. It's like Chamisa. If Chamisa does something, I'm just blind. I won't tell anything because he's my friend. I love Chamisa. Me and Chamisa are one. If Fadzema Here does something, I won't tell you anything. I like Fadzema Here. And I won't. So I've got my own people. So that is what we call an editorial position. I focus on those things that are important. So anyway, I've really talked a lot here, guys. Let's recap. We said today Mnangagwa is going to be officiating at a function where a minister, some deputy ministers, some commissioners, and also some magistrates are going to be sworn in. We're going to watch this very closely because this is the first event at which Mnangagwa is going to be officially doing duty after coming from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. And the military is going to be closely watching Mnangagwa and making sure that everything that Mnangagwa is doing does not give him more power. So this is about power. They want to reduce his power and they want to increase the power of the military and the new guys who are coming in. That is the war veterans and the military. So let's watch very closely. Today is the first day. And then on Friday in Bulawayo, even bigger things are going to happen. For the first time, Mnangagwa is going to be public. I expect something very big in Bulawayo. And security is now a challenge for Mnangagwa. That is why you see Valerio Swanda, the commander-in-chief of the, the commander of the defense forces, is personally guarding Mnangagwa. So this is crazy. It has never happened. And this situation is not reversible. What is happening now is one way. By the 18th of April, you're going to see something big would have happened in Zimbabwe. So that is it for today. I really appreciate all of you guys who call me and talk to me. And a free packet of Mve. Mkoma Peter Josh, WhatsApp me, I'll give you a free packet. Let me see. Who else here? Anoroma comments. Mkoma worship, obvious. Go to my Herald office and see if the guys there, they'll give you a free packet. And who else? Guys, if you drink Mve, especially ukasa ginger and honey knows the double kick. Can also run double kick. I also want life. So go and get one. Come on, Peter Tosh. The other guys I'll give you like Izuko because I can't give you all my stuff. Mkoma Dumin Chapai, Mkoma ways Mkoma Brighton, Mkoma Brighton, Nchakurovera one, and the rest of the guys here who are always here in the morning. I'll sort you out. I want you guys to understand. Pane mfana uyu anonzi point what creative. Mfana uyu zera raki iroro unosapota zanu sei ne uri mwana mudiki. Mwana mudiki anosapota zanu. Iyi zanu ya Mnangagwa. Akaita sei mfana iye. That is crazy. That is crazy. Mkoma Peter, don't get from any other stores. I forgot to look at my favorite people. So let me go to Mini. Mini. Let's go and see what Mini has posted today. Mini has posted something amazing. I saw it yesterday, but I just had no time to look at it. So let me show you guys what Mini has posted. So go and subscribe to Mini. I want you to see everything that she posts. So let's see what she's posted today. There's a documentary that they've done. So go check out the documentary of Chivarai Primary School. So that is the
here. Corinthians 6, verse 19 and 20 says, do you not know that your bodies are the temple of the Lord? And imagine this being sang by young children from as young as 3 years old.
So go and check it out at the page of Mini Malloy. She's got 82,000 followers now. Guys, she's gaining 2,000 followers a week. You can go over there and check it. And I'll talk to you guys later tonight. We're going to be bringing in new guests every night. So today we're going to look for Jonas. Jonas, I've been putting him on sanctions. I've actually not been picking my phone and I haven't been talking to him because I didn't want Jonas to be the first person to talk about what is currently happening. But because everything is developing now, I'm going to call Jonas today and try to make him come live here. I know that there's a divided attention. Should we bring Jonas or not? But do you know that in Southern Africa, Tinashe Jonas is the most watched person on my channel. Botswana, South Africa, Zambia, all these countries. When I put a video and there's Tinashe Jonas here, he's got the most views in Southern Africa. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's what's happening. Mkoma Dumisani, I haven't forgotten you. I'll give you a packet of Mve. Masalad, Arku Dererai. Right. I'd like to thank all of you. And I really enjoyed talking to you. I'll see you again in the evening and a good day.